511 of Math on the Fritz with Mr. Fitz, and you're going to notice this week when you get your assignment. We have a practice quiz, but we're going to try it in a new format. This is using Google Forms. So what I've set up here is I say short quiz, but it will take you a little bit to go through. It starts with short answer text, just writing your name. But see this up here? It's automatically collecting email addresses. I'm doing this because it's necessary for me to know that each student did this. Uh, and if I don't put this here, then theoretically one student could answer 5 different students by just typing different names in here. So when you see practice quiz come up, it is going to record an email. You have to be logged in order to do this. That's why. I couldn't change the settings or it just makes it wide open. So as you go through this, put in your name so that I know who's taking it. Remember, I have over 40 students in my algebra class, so I would really appreciate your actual name in that box. And then as you go down, they're going to get more difficult as you go down. I've given you 4 pictures that you're going to be choosing from. You can select A, B, C, or D as the correct response. Only one of these pictures should match what's given up here. So you'll just click. You can only click one option at a time. If you click B and then you change your mind and you decide that you wanted to select a different one instead, you could do that. I'll hit preview so you can actually see what it looks like. So if I were to go down now and try to answer this question, I've got 4 options. I'm going to choose A, and then I say, oh wait, that's going in the wrong direction. I really wanted to choose C. When you click C, it will automatically unselect A and choose C. You can't select more than one answer. So you go down and select the one you think is right, and then you could go on to the next one. Now, for those of you that are new to using forms, I'll just let you know if there's this little red circle, it just means you have to answer the question. You can't leave any blank. So you'll have to go through and answer these. And then when you've answered every question, you hit submit. And I don't know exactly what you're going to get for feedback. I think it will tell you which ones you got wrong. I believe I've set it up to tell you which ones you got wrong so you could look at it and try to figure out what to do correctly. So as far as this goes, it's a practice version. It says practice at the top because after we have our Google Meet class live, I'm going to post an actual quiz for you to take. So I want you to play around with this, see if you can figure it out, see if you can get the answers all correct. I do believe that you're allowed to submit multiple times, but do notice that when you get to the quiz part of this, I'm only going to accept 2 submissions because otherwise you could just keep guessing until you get them all right. And, 7 times into it, you could get a 100 on it, even if you knew absolutely nothing about it. So I'm only going to limit you to doing this process twice. As you can see, when you get down to the end here, you have a few multi-step inequalities in here. The one thing I wanted to note to you is I couldn't format without taking a screenshot the question. I was able to take a screenshot to get these answers in here, but this means greater than or equal to. It would typically be drawn with a line underneath the inequality instead of having 2 symbols next to each other. That would usually be the greater than symbol with a line underneath it, but I was unable to get that structured in for you. So if you see that in any of these questions, less than or equal to, that's like less than with a line underneath. So if you look at your answers, you'll see all of them have this filled in circle. That's the reason why, is because it also could have been equal to. And just a reminder as you go through, we have all of these things that we were talking about from before. When you're solving these inequalities, if it's less than, it's going to point to the left. If it's greater than, it's going to point to the right. So seeing that this is less than, it's pointing left, but it's also open because there's no line underneath. If we were to go down to the next one is in the wrong direction. So remember, our little shortcut there is you just reflect it over. We're not changing any of the signs here. we're just flipping this inequality to face the other direction. So that's how I'm able to graph something which was originally on the wrong side, is I just do that quick little flip, and now I'm able to do it. If I had a negative coefficient, we're going to divide by -1, and it is going to change the signs. You're going to realize here, we just want to go to the summary, change all the signs, and flip the inequality. That's all we did. So the negative x became an x, the positive 1 became a -1, and the inequality flipped. Instead of pointing to the right, now it's pointing to the left. So those were just some things I wanted to remind you of as you go through your practice quiz. Now, I'm not going to actually hit submit here because otherwise my data is going to pool into all of your class data. So I'm just going to see how we do on the practice version of it. After class is done, I'll actually put out a real quiz version, and it should grade itself. So I look forward to seeing you all in class to make sure we have this worked out. I hope you enjoy doing this process. It should be a lot easier for those of you that are trying to do this on a phone, because all you have to do is select the option which is correct. If you want to submit work for whatever reason, if you want me to look at it and try to identify what's going wrong, you could certainly send me an email. But I just want to try this out and see how it goes. So I look forward to seeing you this week.